Oy vey. Okay, hey everybody, David Shapiro here with a video. Some stuff has happened. As many of you are aware, and some of you aren't, one of the projects that I ran for a while was called AutoMuse, which was using AI to write fiction, and then I took it down because I was like, I don't want to hurt anybody. Then ChatGPT hits, and it's like, okay, well, all that went out the window. And now what's happening is people are going bananas by using AI to write stories. The problem is the stories that y'all are writing are garbage. Um, I mean that as nicely as possible. Uh, every writer who starts, their initial work is garbage, including mine, including everyone else's. Now, that being said, these tools are really powerful and they will help create more storytellers. So the purpose of today's video is, one, I just wanted to set the stage and also continue my project, Ascension. So this is a story that I really wanted to write. I've got a couple videos out there already. The first one got 11,000 views in the last 3 months. The second one got a lot fewer because it was a little bit more arcane. So let's dive right in and actually just let's like start getting this brainstormed. Now, one thing that I will say is I do not use AI to write the prose. I don't actually use it to write anything. I use it to brainstorm and help construct it. And you can see on the left side here, I'm working through draft 12 of my novel. And what I'm doing is I'm using this as a sounding board. Now, I'm not going to show you because this is my upcoming novel. It will be published, et cetera, et cetera. But holy mackerel, I have figured out how to use ChatGPT to get basically use it as a phenomenal writing partner, and it'll help be a sounding board and make ideas and suggestions. And I'm not going to comment on whether or not this is ethical, right? Because here's the thing: is all authors get help, right? We get help from other people. We get help from podcasters. We get help from each other. We get help from whatever, right? This is just another writing tool. Now, like I said, I'm not going to have it write anything for me because the writing is kind of garbage. Now, that being said, you should practice writing prose, and then we'll also talk about using ChatGPT to give you feedback on that in the future. Now, as a recap, this is the story that I'm working on. It's called Ascension with Cornelia Valerii Gracilis. The background is she was born during the height of Roman power, so the backdrop is just this period of absolute prosperity, and then there's a fall from grace, and so that's hence the name Ascension. At first, I thought it was going to be a duology where there'd be, the first book would be Ascension, and then the second book would be Descent. But I think that I'm actually going to have it so that the ascent is up to the midpoint, and then once she reaches the maximum power, that's when she realizes it's hollow, and then she descends back down into having a normal life. So, if you are working on this, let me walk you through the whole process. So, I've got a brand new chat, and I'm just going to tell ChatGPT, hey, I'm working on a novel. Let me tell you about it, and then you'll be my writing partner. I don't want you to write any prose for me, just help me plan and brainstorm the story. Got it? Ready? Sure, I'd be happy. Okay, cool. So then what we're going to do is we're going to copy and paste this. So I'll just say, okay, here's the main character. And so then I'll just copy paste this. Okay, cool. But wait, there's more. That sounds like a fascinating. What else do you have in mind? So basically, ChatGPT knows that I'm just going to barf. I'm going to do an info dump at it. And it's fine because I'll get all this in here and then I'll show you what we do in just a minute. So we'll copy all this. All right. Here you go. And oh, by the way, in a previous video, I actually had ChatGPT write most of this out after the conversation, and I'll show you how to have it summarize. But wait, there's more. There we go. In terms of major events. Here you go. All right. So I know that I'm breezing through this because I'm assuming that you watched the first episode. You can probably skip episode 2 just because I got kind of lost in the weeds. And then finally, okay, here's the last little bit. Okay, with all that in mind, here's what I'd like to do. So here's the thing. As much as I would like for ChatGPT to do the steering, we still have to do the steering. That being said, I will probably be doing experiments with the API. Let me make sure you can hear me all right. Okay, yes. I apologize if it's too quiet, but I figured better too quiet than saturated. So I'll be doing experiments with the API because now with the API we have the system window. So we can actually give it an agenda, but still it's, even if you give it an agenda, it's usually pretty passive. It's like, how can I help you? Which is not, that's not the direction that AI is going. I'm sorry. We are not going to have fully passive tools for long. We're going to have active autonomous tools, but we're getting there. Okay, here's what I'd like to do. I would like to try and outline the entire story in this discussion. So with that said, the main idea that I had was that Cornelia would ascend, hence ascension, and by the and she would achieve this goal by the midpoint. Thus, the moment of truth is that she will have hit her apogee of power and influence, and then realize it's not what she wants. Then she'll spend the rest of the novel in a state of descent towards a more mundane pastoral life. Okay. So with that in mind, what questions do you have? So I found that just asking ChatGPT, what questions you have, it will actually pick up on really salient things about the story. Sometimes it'll go off track, and hopefully I can show you how to keep it back on track. Fortunately, we have the ability to rewrite. What I have found is if it gets it just stupid wrong, don't respond to it because it'll remember the wrong things more. So if it gives you something really bad, just like delete it and start over. Okay, so that's a great plan. It sounds like there will be a lot of opportunities. All right, what are the specific events or milestones that will mark Cornelia's ascent? That's what I need your help with. What triggers the realization of power that she wants as Cornelia begins her descent towards a more mundane life? What are some of the challenges she will face? What is the ultimate outcome of Cornelia's journey? Okay, great. Great. I have some ideas, but I need your help. That's where I'd like you to become a creative writing partner. We'll get to that in a second. So one thing that really helps with ChatGPT is if you're very explicit about what you want it to do and what your goals are. So those are two things, is be very, very direct, like this is what I want you to do and this is why. Because think of like you're talking to a human. If it can misinterpret it, it will. But if you tell it why, like this is where I'm at, this is what I'd like to do, it will be able to kind of set its direction a little bit more. Okay, so here's what I've got. One, I have no idea what milestones there should be. I need your help with that. Two, the triggers, the realization. For the midpoint, moment of truth, we will need to workshop that. Maybe that's where we start. This will be a huge set piece moment. Okay, so for those of you not familiar with writing novels or stories, a set piece moment is one of the things that you absolutely will always remember. So, for instance, in Avengers Endgame, the biggest set piece moment was when Tony Stark says, "And I am Iron Man," and snaps. That is a set piece moment is something around which the rest of the story is built. Um, okay, so then three, as she begins her descent towards a normal life. So this, I've got some ideas. One idea is that she will need to disentangle herself from the halls of power. For instance, the Senate, the legions. Maybe she's tangled up in the Praetorian somehow. Praetorian Guard somehow, and so on. As an ambitious courtesan, she's playing with fire. One idea from a past session, and sorry, I'm going back up to number 2 because I forgot to add this. One idea from a past session was that she decides she wants a family, and realizes that it is just not safe to do so in Rome. Virgil has entered the chat. The joke that I just made there is that Virgil, who wrote the Aeneid, his first epic was about bees and farming in the countryside because he really hated the city. Oh, sorry, gotta stretch. This is why I'm going to the gym after this. Okay, what is the ultimate outcome of her journey? The ultimate outcome is that Cornelia learns what it is to have a truly good, happy life. That is, that she learns to let go of power and wealth and to focus on a few real, genuine, deep relationships, and to cherish stability and the simple things in... Whoops. I can type, I promise. Okay. Okay, so with all that, I would like you to brainstorm some ideas about how to construct the overall plot. Can you do that? All right, let's see what it does. Sometimes this might be a little too early, but sometimes it can really give you some good pearls here. So milestones. To chart her rise to power, you might consider including some of the milestones: her first patron or client. Okay, her first public appearance at an important event. Nice, I like that. Her first successful manipulation or intrigue against a rival. These are really good. First connection with someone in the imperial court. All right, I'm liking that. First successful business. Moment of truth. She wants a family but cannot have one. Okay, it likes my idea. You could explore that with options such as loss of a loved one. I did think that maybe having a rival get like murdered or something could be good, as just like a wake-up call, or maybe an ally get murdered. Disentangling from power. As she begins her descent, you might consider including some of the following challenges: resistance of powerful figures who want her to stay. Yep, I like that. Especially if she's been hired as a spy or something. Okay, so at this point, this is a good overview. So let's tell it that, because you want to encourage good behavior. This is a good overview. Thank you for helping to articulate the story. Let's start to unpack these one by one. Let's delve deeper into the milestones of ascent. Can you list those out for me as a numbered list? And then we'll go from there. All right, let's see if it understands this. All right, her first major patron, yep. Help her climb the social ladder. Her first public appearance, yes. First successful manipulation. Like this shows a very clear escalation. Yes, this shows a very clear escalation. Let's focus on an onion analogy. She starts as an outsider, and one step by one, she gets closer to the center of the onion. So let's say that her peak of power happens like at a palace or something. A big banquet with the emperor. How does that sound? And then everything can go horribly wrong. We'll figure that out later. So with that in mind, do you have any alternative ideas? I'll do any alternative ideas about the ascent phase? The palace banquet is a great idea for the peak of Cornelia's ascent, and it certainly sets the stage for a dramatic turn of events. Here are some additional ideas for Cornelia's ascent. She gains the patronage of powerful senators. She uses her wit and charm. She starts to accumulate wealth and property. She becomes a confidant and advisor. Ooh, I like that. Okay, she uses her beauty and charisma. Okay, this is all really great, but it's a bit generic. I'd like to start to actually plot her course, if you don't mind. Can we get into specifics? So, for instance, let's set the scene for her opening act. She's a young woman coming of age in the Roman Empire, and her family is down on its luck. What happens next? And rather than ask it to do all the work for me, this is where it really helps if you kind of engage and say, okay, so where are we? Like the Valerii clan is down on its luck. She's doing what? Remember, the Valerii clan is down on its luck. Her dad is a dumb oaf, and her mother is a pushy social climber who isn't as smart as she thinks she is. So what does Cornelia do next? Can you give me some ideas? Okay, sure, here are a few ideas for Cornelia's opening act. She decides to take matters into her own hands and starts to secretly sell some of her family's valuables. Ooh, I like that. So she basically starts as a pauper. She begins to explore the city and its various social circles, looking for ways. Okay, she uses her wit and charm. Okay, it's skipping ahead. So this is where ChatGPT can get really repetitive. So it's like, okay, this is too soon. Yep. She decides to take up courtesan work. Great, I like that. Let's remove the bit about wealthy patrons. That should happen around the 25% mark or so. Let's focus on the family selling valuables and just breaking out into the world. Let's think about looking at the city of Rome through the eyes of a girl for the first time. Let's imagine some specific scenes now. Okay, so one thing that I realized is that when you're talking about an outline, it will give you kind of these generic story beats, but if you ask for specific scenes, that's where it gets really specific. So can you brainstorm a list of very specific scenes for this opening act? Cornelia sells a family heirloom to a street merchant. So see how much more specific that is? She explores the city of Rome for the first time. I like that. There's a lot of world building that can happen here. She attends a public event. Oh, I like that. We can do a lot of that. Maybe there's a triumph or something that comes marching through. Cornelia meets an influential and charming woman at an event who offers to help her navigate. Ooh, I like that. Her first ally. So from a mythic perspective, this is the mentor helps. So let me teach you something about writing. And also, the advantage here is ChatGPT already knows this, so all you need to do is prime it. This is a phenomenal series of scenes. Let's explore this a bit deeper. Now, I'd like you to think about this from the perspective of Joseph Campbell. So for those of you who don't know, Joseph Campbell is the one who codified the hero's journey. What I mean is phases of the hero's journey. Specifically, it sounds like this mysterious woman at the games is either a threshold guardian or a mentor. Can you elucidate these ideas further? Sure, I'd be happy. Cornelia selling a family heirloom. This could be seen as the call to adventure stage, where Cornelia realizes she needs to take action to help her family. Yes, perfect. Cornelia exploring the city of Rome. This could be seen as the threshold stage, where Cornelia crosses a physical or metaphorical boundary and enters into the new world. Yes, so this is a really critical idea for storytelling. A story opens in the ordinary world or the mundane world, and then part of that call to adventure or that threshold is crossing into the special world. Cornelia attending a public event. This could be seen as the test allies and enemies stage. So that's actually getting a pretty fast, actually. Could be seen as meeting with the mentor. Yep. Great. As a refusal of the call. Excellent. So that's all like the first quarter. I really love this. Let me do a quick time check. We're already at 22 minutes. I'll probably keep these shorter. So I think we'll call it here because this is really phenomenal. Excellent. This sounds like a great start to the book, maybe even the first act. Can you write an executive summary of the entire story up to this point, please? So writing an executive summary, asking ChatGPT to do that, it does a few things. One, it will clarify what it is thinking, right? Because you're saying, tell me everything that you know. Because it might have a different understanding than you do. And then it also serves an advantage of, now here is something in the chat record that is an executive summary. So it's like, sure, here's an executive summary. Cornelia Valerii is a courtesan in ancient Rome who was born into a wealthy family but lost everything due to betrayal and palace intrigue. Determined to regain her family's former status and protect them from further harm, Cornelia turns to courtesan work as a way to earn a living and climb the social ladder. She uses her beauty, charm, and wit to gain the favor of powerful men and women and rises and influence, so on and so forth. She realizes the emptiness and isolation that comes with her newfound power and status. The story begins with her, okay, good. So this sets the stage. So this is like the predicate of the story. And she's coming of age in the Roman Empire. Her family's down on its luck. She sells a family heirloom to a street merchant to help pay for household expenses. She explores the city of Rome for the first time on her own, marveling at the grand buildings and bustling streets. At a public event, she meets an influential and charming woman who offers to help her navigate the complex social hierarchy. As she rises in status, she must navigate the complex and treacherous world. Great. So obviously this is kind of trying to summarize the whole thing, which is fine. So yeah, we'll call it a day here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to copy this out. So one thing you always want to do is keep a scratch pad, because you never know what will happen with ChatGPT. You might lose something. So we'll just say Act 1, and then we will copy paste, because this is a really great beginning, because there's about 5 major story beats here, which if you expand each one of these into a chapter or two, this could be 5 to 10 chapters, and most novels are about 30 chapters. So if you expand this to to 10 chapters. That's the first third of the book, which is about perfect for Act 1. So you can see how like we just really got through this real fast. And part of this is I'm banking on my 4 years as a novelist to build up an intuition. But that being said, I think you can see that just by virtue of the fact that ChatGPT knows all of this stuff and I'm using the right words and kind of keeping it on track, that's how it goes. So anyways, thanks for watching. I hope you guys like this. Yeah, cheers.